What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here in the back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we are going to be showcasing the COOLIEZA in this video. He's been in like every one of my videos recently when it's been running this new team. So I thought, you know what, let's actually fully showcase him. I think I said that in the last video when I was doing the cooler when I wanted to showcase him. So the only link you won't be able to get active on this team is probably Fear and Faith, which is not really super helpful. And Fuse Fighter, definitely. You won't be able to get that one active. So, we're going to try to get everything else active, and we're going to run him on the team and see how well he does. How COOLIEZA works, he's not till the next rotation, so that actually might be good. How COOLIEZA works is he is easily, no questions asked, he is a slot 2 unit. He literally does not get his passive until he super attacks. So prior to that, he needs to be in slot 2. He cannot do anything at all in slot 1 if he gets attacked prior. Even if he has stacked a few turns, Turles wanted to show out. Okay. Alright, now I will read off COOLIEZA to you a little bit. Let me swap him in there. Actually, no, not those two. Yeah, we'll go like that, I guess. He's not going to get a Shattering Limit either, but let me get this set up really quick, and then we'll read it to you. Alright, there we go. COOLIEZA, turn 1. He's sitting at about 272,000 attack, 115k defense. Mind you, he gets 120% to attack and defense when performing a super attack. So those stats are going to double right off the start. No question. It's going to double. Then he has a high chance of launching an additional super attack, which I think is like 50 to 70%, something like that. And a chance of performing a critical hit plus 10% with each super attack performed up to 30. And he gives Fusion or Wicked Bloodline category Extreme Class allies 30% to stats. So right now he's buffing his two partners, which are the STR Cooler and the Final Form Cooler right here. He's buffing both of them by 30%. This one is buffing him by 20% to stats in Key 3. I think. He has Transformation Boost, yeah? Let me double check before I say it. Yes, he is. And he does buff Transformation Boost, category allies, and facing one enemy. Yes, he is. So he's getting an additional 30% right now. But how this unit works is he will be raising his attack stat a lot faster than he'll be raising his defense. He greatly raises attack on his super and raises defense. So he raises his attack by 50% per super attack and raises his defense by 20%. So if you wonder why your defense isn't raising as quick, it's because of the way his super attack is built. He's actually a Key 3 100% leader for strength as well. So let's just see how well... Hopefully the STR Cooler doesn't kill him, because this guy is actually pretty strong on this team. Hopefully we can get one super attack and that's it. I should have probably tried to avoid it. Alright, yeah, perfect. That's 3 milli, that's nice. Alright, let's see what he's getting on turn 1. 3.74 million turn 1. Okay, not terrible. Can we get an additional super? We should be able to get an additional super. Come on. Nope, okay. So we only got one super attack this time, which is not terrible. I just showcased this man. I just left him on the team because he's just really good as is. I want to try to rotate the Turles off, but he's not going to be on, so we're going to rotate like this, is what we want to do, because we want this Turles on rotation. This Turles will be the best support unit for that cooler. Support unit, not like partner unit. The best partner unit is, I think, the LR Frieza. First Form Frieza has 5 links with him. Yeah, we just took 300. I'm not worried about it. That was just because I put Cooler in the slot 1. I'm not showcasing Cooler at all. I could care less at this point. He hasn't had any chance to build up his stats. This is the first turn he's out there, so he's not gotten anything going for him, so I know he was going to take a lot of damage no matter what happened there in that situation. This Turles is actually really good. I do want to showcase him as well at some point, because he's on this 200% team, and he fits really good. Actually, is he fit on this 200% team? I don't think he counts as transformation boost because he doesn't transform. I'll have to look into that after this, actually. This Turles does, and he's a monster. So he went from a legend to a god at this point. Alright, so what I'm going to need to do is I can't leave him in slot 1 because he'll finish this for me. And I don't want that. So we're going to have to put COOLIEZA in slot 1, which actually, let's look at his stats now. 408,000 attack, 138k defense, which isn't terrible, really, that's not. And we're going to leave the STR Cooler in his fourth form for a little while. Let's see. 4.04 million, not terrible. This cooler is a unit, or COOLIEZA is 4.34. This COOLIEZA is a unit that takes a few turns to build up. He's not, like I said, he's not monstrous turn 1. Like, he's not gonna be. This is a long game unit. That's how this COOLIEZA was made. And he's really, really good for it. So we're gonna try to get to the Super Saiyan 4 stage, and then I'll really see what kind of numbers he's putting up and check his stats. That should really be enough to showcase it a little bit. Because you're not with... These events are old enough to the point, these Fighting Legend events, to where 200% teams will just breeze through it. For the most part, any 200% team can breeze through it. You're not going to struggle too terribly. This cooler, the tech one, hasn't really built himself up just yet, so he might not take this too well if he gets supered in slot 1, which is not great. But yeah, see, 45,000. It's because he hasn't built himself up yet. He doesn't have his full passive activated. He only had one, like, third of it. Now he's doing just fine. This cooler, I say this every video this man shows up, he is a ridiculously powerful offensive unit. Defensively, he struggles because he's too RNG related. So, like, right now, if he could go without doing a single 12-key super, he didn't. He actually did one, which is, I'm glad, because if he got supered, I'd get destroyed. Even with a support unit on. Oh, he did too. Thank the Lord at this point. This cooler is so good offensively, but if he doesn't do 2 to 3 12-key supers and gets super attacked, he's going to get clapped. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But, again, like most people have said, and I've said myself, most units will get clapped if they get supered like that. Like, it's going to happen. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to avoid supering with the AGL Turles. Hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't super. Because right now, this COOLIEZA has got 2 supports on rotation. So he's getting about 70% from both supports put together. He's sitting at 851,737 attack and 231,000 defense, I'll say, because I'll round up. And this is before he gets his 120%, mind you. Turles is going to super. Hopefully he doesn't kill him. He didn't. And like I said, this is before he gets his 120 from his passive. 5.8 million. This is only super number 5, by the way. Super number 6, 6.18 million. 6 super attacks and he's over 6 million. And that's only been in 3 turns that he's actually been out there. So, this rotation is going to be complete dog water, so I'm actually going to do this, activate this to cut back on the attacks taken, because they are not linking partners in any way, shape, or form. I just ended up rotating it terribly, which is completely my fault. I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't thinking about this rotation, honestly. I wasn't worried about this. I was more or less just trying to showcase the COOLIEZA, which he ended up doing as well as expected, and doing passing expectations at this point, really. A lot of people, I think it was, it was in a stream I was watching, and a lot of people were hating on COOLIEZA, saying he's paper thin, flimsy. He is if you don't build him up. If you do not build up your passive with him and let him do enough super attacks, he is flimsy, yes. Same with this cooler, though. But if you have his full passive activated and he doesn't get all of these 12 keys off, yes, he is flimsy. This cooler is going to be terrible if he does not get like 2 or 3 12 key supers off. I was hoping he would have supered that cooler there, not this one, but because now this one does have his full passive activated, but he is going to get demolished if he gets hit with a super attack. Easy type disadvantage. I mean, he might take like 300k, maybe 400. Let's see how much he takes. He did raise his super attack. 442. Not terrible, really, not. I mean, it's a lot of damage. Like, don't get me wrong. That is a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright, so we do have the COOLIEZA on rotation. I did bring a Sensu, so we're going to heal that right away, just to try to get one more rotation with the COOLIEZA. He's sitting at 212,000 defense right now. He does have the support unit on the, whoops, let's swap them around. Yeah, see, he's only got one link active right now, Thirst for Conquest. He does have the support unit of this Turles, Team Turles at the end of the rotation active, though. So that is kind of nice, the 30% from him. So this is all COOLIEZA at this point. He does not have any of these other links active. He doesn't have Universe's Most Malevolent, Strongest Clan in Space, Thirst. He has Thirst for Conquest. He doesn't have Fear and Faith. Doesn't have Metamorphosis. Doesn't have any of those active. He just has Thirst for Conquest. So let's see what he can do. Let's see how he handles. Hopefully he gets supered either before or after he attacks here. I'm hoping it's after. Okay, it is. 4.16, which is still really good. 4 million is still really solid. 4.3. For being a Dragon Ball Fusions unit, that really shouldn't be as good. It's a general pool unit, really. And he's hitting 4 million and hitting at least 2 supers. That's almost on par with some Dokkan Fest. Yeah, it took him a little while to build it up. Yes, I will admit that. But he is actually a pretty solid unit. So I'm probably thinking I've seen enough to really say that I would rate him a pretty solid unit. I would give him at least a 7, 7.5. Like I said, pretty much how I said about the Tech Cooler. 7, 7.5 is where I'd rate him because he's good. Like he's really good. But I would actually probably throw COOLIEZA just slightly higher than the Tech Cooler because of the fact that he's a support unit as well as being a defensive stacker and offensive stacker. So he'll get strong as he's getting himself stronger. He's also still supporting the team around him, which makes a lot of units more valuable in my eyes and in many other players. Is the problem? This is probably the worst time to cover this, but the problem with a lot of players, not necessarily players, but just how people look at units, is they don't look at the whole team around the unit, and they'll come out and say, "Oh, this unit sucks." But why? Well, he just doesn't do enough damage. Well, no, it's you got to look at a unit as a whole, not as just what he is. In that sense, I mean, look at him for his leader skill, look at him for his passive, look at him for his links, look at him for how he supports his team. So, like, for this, actually, I might be able to swap these two together. Do they link better? They do, but that leaves him vulnerable at the end. But he does have 400k defense, so I'm just going to risk it, because, I mean, we die when we're getting Dokkan mode, so it doesn't really matter too much. So, he's got 4 of his links active, which is the most he's had this whole time. He's sitting at almost 1 million attack stat and 225k defense. And he doesn't really have a support on, so I'll slap a imaginary support 20% on to see what he goes up to. Just over 1 million and 270k. Not terrible. And mind you, that's all gonna double because of the fact that his 120% from his passive is gonna activate. I don't know if it actually is doubling. I really don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and do the calculations. But let's see what he's up to. 5.7 million like 5.7 million is what his attack stat shows down there. And hopefully he'll double super. Let's see what he hits for this. 6.3 million. 2.92 million was just a basic attack. A super? Nope. Ooh, let's see what he takes this for. Let's see how much damage he takes. There's a Phantom 20% support unit on ring. 82k. That is not terrible in my eyes, to be honest. Really, that is not terrible. And this cooler is hitting 7.72 because of the support, the Phantom support unit. 8.1. So, again, this unit's like, oh, you think the COOLIEZA is better than me? So here's 8 million attack stat. Like, you can mimic and, like, not mimic, you can mess with the numbers a little bit to make them look better. But to me, both of those two units right there are really good. They're 7.5s, 8s. If not, I would say the COOLIEZA is just slightly better. I would give COOLIEZA the edge because he's a support unit for his team. That's the only thing I would say about the COOLIEZA that I would rate different is he's better than the Tech Cooler because he supports the rest of his team. If you're looking at it from a team standpoint. If you're looking at it from unit to unit, this cooler's at 15 million. If you're looking at it from unit to unit, the Tech Cooler is a better unit offensively. Sooner too, but if you're looking at it from the standpoint of which unit is better on a team with units around him, COOLIEZA's got to be better in my opinion because of his support. And he links for the most part well with some units, except for he lacks Fierce Battle and Big Bad Bosses, which they should have given him at least Big Bad Bosses, and that would have made the unit a lot better. But that's it, guys. We just breezed through that whole event. used 2 items just because we just messing about. But that is my opinion on COOLIEZA and my showcase on COOLIEZA. I think he's fantastic. Should they have given him big bad bosses? Yes, that would have made him a lot better. But that's it for this showcase, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.